Hello and welcome to JewelStreet. Thank you for joining our community. In this video, I'll walk you through getting your account up and running so that you can get your boutique live as quickly as possible. Starting at the JewelStreet homepage, make sure you are logged in using your email and password that you have set previously. Once you are logged in, you'll need to navigate to the My Accounts section of your page. Click My Accounts under the small person icon on the top right-hand side. Once you are here, you will see a button that says Seller Dashboard in the left-hand menu. This button is the bridge between the customer side of JewelStreet and the seller side. Once you've clicked it, you will be on the seller side of your account and able to control all your settings from there. When you are in your seller dashboard, you will see some colourful boxes at the top, so you know you are in the right place. Next, click the configuration button on the left-hand menu. This is where you can edit all your general settings. We will now go through and fill in these boxes so you know what to enter, and at the end your account should be ready to go. To start off, you will need to upload your logo. To add your logo, click the Choose File button and then select your logo from your folders. Make sure that your logo is clear and high quality. Then put in your store name and a short description. A short description should just be 2 or 3 words to describe your brand. This is not shown on the front of your seller's page. The important information for your seller's page is in the next section. Click Save Configuration on the right-hand side to save these details before entering the next ones. This is to be sent over to the approvals team before being updated. You will see that when you save changes in your account, these boxes change to orange. This is because they will be checked by the approvals team before being updated. Next, move on to your seller's page and enter information in the About Store section. To do this, click the Show Hide Editor button and then type or copy-paste your pre-written bio information. You'll need about 2 paragraphs here, not too long, but just describing your brand, your roots and inspirations. When you are happy with your bio information, click the Save button. There is no need to enter or edit the meta information section. This will be done by our team. Next, you will need to enter your banking information. Click the Withdrawal Accounts button under the Seller's Page option and enter either your PayPal email address or bank transfer information. You can do either of these, and this is the information that the accounting team will use to pay you. Once you've entered this, click the Save Configuration button again and move on to the next section. This is the Sales Email section of your account. In here, enter your email addresses in the relevant boxes to receive the information to the correct email. For instance, these are your order notifications, so enter in this box an email address for your orders to be sent over to. Do the same for your invoices, shipment notifications, and credit memos for information when there's a credit change in your account. You can add in multiple email addresses in these boxes if you have other team members or addresses that you will need in there. Once you've added this in, click the green Save Configuration button and move on to the Return section. Once again, in this box, you will just need to enter in the information for a returns address. In this box, enter an address to which any returns should be sent. This will not be shown publicly on the front of your boutique, but will be used by our orders team in the case of a return. Save the information once you've updated it. Next, you will need to add in your shipping costs to your JewelStreet account. You can have 2 flat rates across your JewelStreet boutique. This will be domestic and international. For domestic, this will cover the country that you are shipping out from, and international will be any other countries that you ship to. So, click the Add Rate button in this section, and then you will want to add domestic and international. Make sure that these are selected correctly at the locations at the end of the box. So you want to edit the international to say international in the drop-down. You'll then want to add your cost in these boxes here. JewelStreet strongly recommends that you offer free shipping or low shipping where possible, as this is the best rate that is proven to encourage sales. Enter your rates into the local price box. If your boutique is set in a different currency, this will then update into GBP in the price box, but local price is the one which you will need to edit. You can also use the local free shipping section. In this, you can enter a rate above which you will offer free shipping. For example, if a designer spends £50, perhaps you will offer free international shipping. Then the free shipping box will also convert this into GBP. Save this information into your account, and then it will be sent across to the approvals team to approve the rates. Now you have completed all the general settings in your account, it's time to upload your products. Select Catalogue and Manage Products. From here, you will have a table with all the details about your products. Click Add Product, which is the blue button in the top right-hand corner, and you will enter into a blank product template. In this example, I will take you through as though I am uploading a pair of earrings, but you can use any category of product. You can take this information from your own website, from your own product details, or type it in as you go along if you haven't got it listed anywhere else. The first thing we'll start with is the product name. For any jewellery, we recommend that you use the material at the start of the product name. For other products this is true too, but if this doesn't fit into, say, an art piece or something in another category, then just make sure you're using keywords to clearly describe your product. We'd recommend that your product name is about 5 to 6 words long, has the key describing word of what the product is in the name, so in this example that would be the earrings, has some details and the material. The first letter of each word should be capitalised, and then you can edit in your SKU. This will automatically have populated with the product name, but you will want to add your personal SKU, or if you don't have any for your company, then you can make this up using your company name and the product name. But here I'm just adding in abbreviations for both of these. Next, you want to choose the attribute set. This is different to the category, which lists your product in a certain place on the front end. The attribute set just edits the drop-downs below so that you can add in more information about your product. In this example, we'll want to use earrings. You can search and select this, or scroll through the list to select the one which applies. As you can see, the sections below have updated. For this example, I've just added in the material and colour, but you'll want to add in as many details as possible about your product. For menus like this, you can scroll through and use the Control key on your keyboard to select multiple products or options in the menu. Once you have filled in these relevant sections, some of them may not be relevant to your product, but that's okay, you can just leave them empty. You'll want to look at the buttons below. Next button is Made to Order. Select this if there will be some lead time on your product, for example if it would take a few days to make. Keep this turned off if you have a lot in stock which you can ship out immediately. For non-returnable items such as the earrings, you'll want to select this button, but JewelStreet does have a policy that earrings are non-returnable for hygiene reasons. You'll want to enter the price into the local price box. If your boutique is set in a different currency, then it will convert to GBP in the price box. This one will be greyed out, so you won't need to type anything in here. You can just type your price into this box. Next, for the quantity, you will want to keep this as high as possible if you have items available and in stock. If your piece is a one-off item, then of course you must enter 1 into the quantity box. But if this drops below 1, then it will be out of stock. You will get an email in this case, but JewelStreet recommends that you keep this as high as possible, if this is applicable to your items, to keep your products in stock. The next section is the weight. This isn't relevant for lots of customers, so you may want to select this item has no weight. If you do want to specify the weight, potentially your product is something where this is more relevant for the customer, then you can put it into this box here. Your visibility will be defaulted to catalogue and search. You will leave this to make your products appear in the search. Next is categories. You want to select the categories that your product applies in on the front end of the website. You will need to select 2 of these minimum for your product to be approved, but sometimes you may find that you fit into more categories, so make sure you select the ones which are relevant. The most important thing is to open the tree as far as you can go. For example, here, you would select women's jewellery and women's earrings. As you can see, we are opening these with this drop-down tool on the left of the checkbox. If there is no drop-down on the bottom of this checkbox, then you've gone as far into this section in the tree as you can. If you need to keep going, then make sure you select every level down to the base subcategory level so that you can get your product in as many relevant categories as possible. Next, I'm going to add configurations into the product. This is where you can create a drop-down for the customer to choose product variations from. You can use this for colours or materials or things like ring size. Anything which is very customisable, you want to add in at the bottom instead of in the configuration section. You want to use the customisable options section. This is a lot more flexible, so in this section you can type in your options or the customer can type in theirs, for example in the case of an engraving or something personalised and embroidered. In this example, I'll just create a configuration. So this is a 4-step process. So I'll create configuration, and then I'm going to use finish as the option. So for earrings, you could do a colour or an earring type, finish, gemstone, material. Click the next button once you've selected this, and then choose your options from the list. Click next once you've chosen your options. In this section, you can add images into your drop-down options. This means that when a customer selects a certain option from your drop-down, it will point them towards a certain image that you have uploaded. You can do this by clicking the Apply Unique Image by Attribute, and then select the attribute. So if you had multiple here, for instance colour as well, they would be in this list. But here we just chose the finish. So you would select this button, and then you could upload the different versions here. We'll skip this for now in the example, but again you can do the same thing for the quantity, so you could apply a unique quantity for each variation, or you could skip this and apply a single one across. In this example we'll just apply 100 across. Next you'll get a summary of the options that you've added in, and if you've added in your image they'll be shown here on the left hand side. Click Generate Products to create these configurations. Then you will need to edit your table. So you can change your SKU. This will be automatically added in by the system to the word you have chosen. For example, we chose the beaded and brushed. But if you want to change your SKU to something unique and you want this to match the ones that you already use, then you can add this in here. You can also do the same for the price. So if these are different prices, then you can add this in here. If they're the same, then you will just need to add those in. And once again, you'll have the 2 price options. So you'll have the local price, and this will be set in your boutique currency. Then you will have a conversion to GBP. If your boutique's already based in GBP, this will just be standardized. You want to make sure that you have the quantity of the item in the box and that the status is enabled. Next, you want to add in your images. So these are your base product images which will be displayed on the website. Click Browse to find the image and select your product image. Here I'm just using the logo again as an example. Your image will need to be 1200 by 1200 pixels. You'll see the size of your image here, so if it's not correct, you can still upload it, but it will not be approved. You need to make sure that your very first image is the 1200 by 1200. This doesn't have to have a white background per se, but it does need to be this size. If you have other pictures which are different sizes, for example, you have an art print and you want to fit in a rectangle, you're more than welcome to add these in afterwards, and you can have as many images as you want. We would recommend about 5, which is a good number, but again, if you only have 1, or if you have more than this and you have a lot more angles that you want to show off, you can add these in here. You can drag and drop your pictures in, but you want to make sure that the front image that you want to advertise your product is on the far left here, and it has these 4 tags. So if you switch your images around, make sure you click this, and select these 4 tags. So that's the base, small, thumbnail and swatch. Once you have added in your pictures, you've almost completed creating your product. The search engine optimization section, or SEO section, will be done by our team. You can select related products from this menu here if you want to link some of the products you've already created together, and you can add in customizable options at the bottom. To add these in, you need to click Add Option and then select your option title. In this example, I'll show you how to create an engraving. You can use this for any option where you want to be a bit more flexible or choose your own title name. So, the option title for an engraving could just be engraving, or you could have style. And then from here you want to choose that it will be on text field. If it is required for the customer to buy the product, then you'll want to select this checkbox here. If that isn't the case, then you can uncheck it. You can add in a price that this option will cost. So this wouldn't be the base price of your product, this would be an additional price on top of the one you've already created. For example, if the engraving was an extra £5, then you would add 5 into this local price box, and again you have the price, the 2 price boxes here. You can choose a max number of characters if there's a limit that you want to add to an engraving, if this is the option that you're going for. If you want to use this for something else, you could use this for gift wrapping or personalisation. If you wanted to create a drop down, you could do this as well. So say we went for style, and you go in here and you select drop down, and then you can add your own personalised values to the drop down. So once again, for the earrings you have the option of clip or pierced or pointed. You can add in the price here. So remember that this is an additional price on top of the base price. So if these options are free, then you'll just want to add 0, and the customer will have to pay the £100 as we chose up here and up here. If one of these has an additional cost, you want to add in that additional cost. So now that would be £105 for this option. You can delete these using the bin icon on the right hand side. So these are the options within the drop down. To delete the entire section as a whole, you can just click this bin icon here. You can then save your product. When you're happy with a product, you can choose Save and Submit for approval from the drop down. If you still want to edit it or add something else in, you can select the Save and Close button. You can also duplicate it or click Save and New to go across to a new product with a blank template so that you can add these in quickly. Here I'm just going to click Save and Close so you can see how the options display in your main table. When this is loaded, you can see that this has created a configurable product and 2 simple products. This is because we added in the finish variation. So these will display as simple products. So for instance, if you wanted to manage the stock, you could go into them separately. You can see that these are not submitted. So if you want to send these over for approval, you can use the checkboxes and submit for approval. You can also use these checkboxes to select products that you may want to pause. So if you want to pause these, you could do change status and disable them. And then if you wanted to show them again, you could click the enable option here. If your product is approved and enabled, it will be visible on the front of the website for the customer. At the moment it is grey and not submitted. If it had been submitted and you were waiting for it to be approved, then it would be in orange and say pending. It would be green and approved once this process is complete. Thank you for joining JewelStreet. Once you have completed your general settings and added in that first product, you can send that across, and that will be all checked by the approval team and your account will be up and running.